Hey, where are you guys? I'm here with introduce yourself.
Toby Julian.
You can talk a little louder too if you want to. Be crazy. Yeah, so it's we've been friends for a while. He's a really good guitar player, done a lot, and we're gonna geek out today about guitars, guitar tones, and all that shit like that. But first of all, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. It's good to see you, man. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
So,
Thanks for having me.
thanks for finally showing up. So the first, usually I'd start like, when did the rock and roll bug hit you?
Oh, very early on. I remember back in the days when we'd be driving the car and my mom would be listening to the AM pop radio, and here in Hawaii, at least after like, I don't know, 6 or 7, they'd start playing the more rock stuff, and that's the stuff I dug more. And she hated it. And it started slowly getting introduced to things. It wasn't until I got introduced to Kiss that I actually wanted to play. Of course, I'd never seen them. It was all records and pictures and stuff, but when I saw the huge stage and the production, it went just to a whole nother level. I dug the music before, but when I saw what can be done,
Yeah.
for some reason it was like, I'm going to do whatever I can to do this stuff.
Because you grew up here, so that must be kind of like you. How many actually came here? I mean, how many?
Well, the thing is very few.
Yeah.
When they did, they were on their way to Japan, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't see any stage. It was band and amps.
Yes.
Which is cool in its own respect,
Yeah.
but it wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles and I got to see real shows
Yeah.
that I was completely in my element.
You take some things for granted, and then just now I thought, wow, you didn't get all that stuff because I saw Kiss in '79.
Well, they came here very early on and never came back. So I never even saw them until the 96
Wow.
reunion, the
Mhm.
original reunion.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the shit out of them back then.
Yeah.
But up until that point, I never saw them live.
Wow. Well, no, it's kind of like you get yourself in that headspace. All of a sudden, it's like,
Yeah.
wow. So it's really about the music.
Yes.
And then putting the needle in the group by hearing and finding magazines or whatever. Then that's it. It's a whole different kind of fan worship or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my room had rock posters, not just Kiss. I mean, it was everybody. It was mostly guitar players.
Yeah.
I don't think I had a bare space in my room.
Yeah.
Like most of us probably did.
Most of people our age, Ace
Yeah.
is the first one.
Yeah.
So Ace is the first Kiss kind of thing. And then for kids, well, people later on, it's Kurt Hammett.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of good to be part of that legacy. But okay, so let's talk about tone. Because that's really, because guitar players, I think it's always a constant pursuit of a tone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how do you? So you're a young kid playing, and then all of a sudden, when you go light bulb, I can use this pedal, or I can use this.
And I've heard the same story from a lot of guys my age. When you first plug it, you plug directly in.
Yeah.
And it's just not there. And then when you get handed your first distortion pedal, mine was an old school, that black box, the WAT.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably didn't sound great, but to me it was like, oh, that's the sound.
Yeah.
That's how a guitar is supposed to sound.
Yeah.
Because I had a little combo and it was playing and it was terrible. But that's when you get bit. That's when you start feeling.
Yeah.
You start feeling it. You start.
Because as far as I'm concerned, the first guy who really did something with that was Ray Davies. And like, you really got me. That distortion from hell kind of thing. Because no one else really had that to me.
Nope.
And then all of a sudden, everybody's freaking out how to find something. Because even the Yardbirds, Beck and Page, they were kind of like clean. It wasn't really that much. And then they had a fuzz tone going on there. Then Hendrix came along.
You made them all rethink it.
But, he's an anomaly. If you put all the guitar players, you have to take him out because he runs the bell curve. I mean,
Yes.
if he's upside down, he's doing everything weird. He's always on acid. He's doing something. Like he's channeling. Who knows what he's channeling? And so I always throw him out of the picture. It's like, okay, he's way up there. Everybody else didn't like that. So, well, how many pedals did you go through before you found? And are you still happy with it? Are you happy with the tone now?
Currently, yes, but I don't really use pedals anymore. In fact, I haven't used it. Keep in mind, I was in LA in the rack era. So I had two 412 cabinets like everyone, and I had a rack full of stuff.
Yeah.
Not a huge rack.
Yeah.
But, I went through different preamps and back when they were kind of still making a rack mountable multi-effects. All MIDI. So, because I found out very early that I can't do what we call the pedal ballet. Like I can't jump around and hit all these pedals at the right time. I don't know, I'm coordinated. So, but
That's fine.
I liked hitting one button and everything changes. So I kind of did that for a very long time. In fact, when I moved, I still had rack. And then I got rid of that and went back to a regular head, and now I'm back at racks again.
When did you? Because most people I know, and guitar players I know especially, they go into start recording something, and then all of a sudden their mind gets blown about what can be done with effects, and how effects it should be, all that stuff. When did that whole epiphany? Because that's important. All of a sudden you can do this, but all of a sudden you're in a situation where you hear yourself play back in a different,
Yeah, I mean, I was always one of those guys that didn't want to over-process sound, but it also kind of makes us cringe when there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So my live sound was always just a little bit of something. And pretty much everything I recorded didn't have a huge amount of effects. Like I'm not doing like these long slapback delays or any kind of weirdness. It's just always been just kind of straight guitar. So, which is another reason why I don't need a whole lot of different channels and a lot of different pedals. I just don't think that way. I never thought that way in other bands I've been in, and currently I don't think about what kind of cool guitar effect. I just want to hear straight guitar. That's it.
So, what influenced you to your current guitarist tone?
I had been on a very long journey where the current amps at the time, the big amps, they didn't really have a lot of high gain amps. It was always mods. And I didn't like I don't like the mushy distortion or gain. I tell some of my friends I don't like the cream tone.
Yeah.
I want something a little tighter, a little more aggressive. And so I was looking, which is why I ended up. I mean, my roommate used to work in Marshall, at Data Marshall Warehouse in the Valley. Remember that? Yeah. And I used to go there all the time and try stuff. And I had Fred. He would give me stuff, try this, try that. And then when I got hooked into the VHG stuff, it was like, oh God, that's what I want. And that's kind of where I still am. I backed off of that ultra aggressive tone these days, but I still want some of that.
Yeah.
So, which is why I went to the gear I'm using now, which is modular, but it's all tube. So, like in my rig, my big rig, I have a Wagner and a Friedman in the same rack. So I can pick and choose. I have 4 different channels.
Now, you're a Gibson kid.
I am now, yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean you am now? What did you have to do? You had a Jackson or something?
In the late 80s and 90s, I played the Randy Rhoads.
Really?
Jacksons.
Yeah.
But I've learned. And yeah, I've been pretty much Gibson guy and pretty much a Les Paul guy for the past 25 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I have other Gibson primarily.
Yeah. It's funny because if I was a guitar player, I'd be a strap person. But Gibson always enters my life somehow. And Todd, if you're out there, they want to do a story on me, and I haven't got to LA yet. because they have the same Gibson, since Cesar Cake, they have this whole media thing going on. And Todd runs all that stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then they use my photographs for the stand, of course, and the hammock shit. And they got an email one day. It's like, when you were in LA, man, and they've only done 4 episodes. I mean, Ross Halford was one of them. But like, but so more and more, I mean, if I was to play guitar, maybe it would be.
It's not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
I was in Hollywood
Yeah.
when it was the hot, the hot rod Strat era, super Strats.
Yeah.
So I tried. I mean, aside from Fenders, I tried Kramers, I tried Charvels, Jacksons, everything. I just don't feel comfortable with them. And so now the big joke is I hate Fenders. And of course, some of my friends are big Fender guys.
Yeah. Hi, Keith. But he played Keith. We gotta say Keith. Hi, Keith. Keith's another guitar nerd from hell, so it's great. It's fun. So I'm going to go back to the tone kind of thing, because that's guitar players have to be, or not have to be, but they're measured by their tone.
Yeah, and you got to find something that matches your playing, your body, your touch.
It's like a painter kind of thing, because it's the same thing with a photographer, it's an artist, because you're kind of defined by your tone. And like we were talking about earlier, it's like you can put on a Shanker song or a UFO tune or whatever, and it's it's Shanker. And the same thing with Blackmore, no matter what. Like, even Ingvar. So I guess to make your mark on the planet, you have to have a tone.
Yeah.
And I've seen you a couple times, and it's kind of like...
A couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many, so... Those 2 big superhero rock star shows, that was like crazy.
Those were fun.
Yeah, and it's great, because like, all Dan's guitar, because how'd you guys get all those Gibson behind you and shit? The first show, everybody had one. 3 or 4.
All of the guitars I played were actually mine.
Okay.
But we thought it would be ridiculous, therefore we should do it.
Yeah.
Doing guitar changes,
Yeah.
like as if we were a real band or something.
Yeah. We were really real band. I did the album cover. What do you want?
We set this both shows. We set up the whole set list based on guitar changes.
Yes.
And I think the first one we had a costume change.
Yeah.
And the fun idea with the first one was we ended up with Kiss Love Gun.
Yes.
And so our bass player borrowed one of those Gene Simmons Axe basses and did that.
Yeah.
It was just how far we could push the silliness.
Well, that's gaming though. Well, that's Zap Nasty, yeah. Because he called up so many times, like, I want to do a big show. I want to do like 1-2 shows a year. That's it. I want to do a big show.
Well, originally it was only supposed to be one.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, the band was supposed to only be a year.
Yeah.
We were going to do a pseudo live album and one show of that, and that was it. We just ended up doing a bit longer.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
It's always good like that. So, guitar player tones. Again, I mean, we're geeking out today. So, like, Shanker's tone. How do you, I mean, you hear it, you get like this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about these iconic players.
Yeah.
It's all of it. It's their note selection. It's their their aggression. It's their tone, and their tone accentuates years and years of practice.
And then when Phenomenon, he was 16 or 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes on from there. I mean, some German kid doesn't speak English, and then
that kind of stuff angers me. How could you play like that at that age?
Because he's been playing since he's 11. His mom and dad would take him on stage. Okay, you go to school later on, and the whole. I mean, a bunch of my friends are Shanker like devotees. It's just crazy. I mean, we found this one book about the Scorpions, all in German from like '76 or whatever. Like little Mike, and then I think this 3 or 4 players I've seen forever. YNT like a bazillion times.
Oh yeah.
Dave Mustaine a bazillion times. And then Michael Shanker like a bazillion times. And then we got to be friends for a while. And so that was kind of, when he was clean and sober with the Macaulay. Hi, Robin. That was like one of those things which is kind of cool. I mean, and so once in a while, I mean, I don't listen to albums. I have everything on my iTunes or whatever, right? And I'll be photoshopping for hours. All of a sudden you and like the whole you can rock me,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get that Paul Raymond and then you stand at attention kind of thing. It's like it's crazy. Yeah. So Guitar player. I just named Shaker. That was easy. Your turn.
Oh my god, it's a very long list.
Pick one off the bat. I mean, okay, so now guitar players are different than non-guitar players. I'm gonna put an album on, or I'm gonna find and then like I want to specifically hear a song, and I know that song's gonna be like like Black Rose or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm gonna in for like a little ride. Do you get the opportunity to do that anymore? Because I know you're a dad, you have kids and stuff like that, and so
but I mostly once in a while I'll say, I haven't heard this album.
Yeah.
Like old school, like we used to listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
But not that much anymore. Sometimes it's like Black Rose is my favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
If sometimes I want to listen to that. Sometimes I just I want to hear everything Lizzie did because I love that man.
Yeah.
No,
we all love Lizzie.
Who doesn't? I don't trust anybody that doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to see him twice. And the last time was 1980. I'm 19 years old, second row center. It was just like, and then there's in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, there's a couple of key gigs that everybody had to show up at before anybody was anybody. That was one of them. MSG, the Vehicle for T-Trick, everybody who's going to be anybody. Like the Bailofts and the Hammonds and the Cliff Burtons and the Baker Moore guys. He's had to show up. So somebody called it Rock and Roll College. Did you show up like that? And so, I feel bad for you, buddy. You didn't get to hang out that shit.
None of it.
Shit. That's
I made up for lost time when I moved to LA, but still, most of the stuff was already kind of gone.
Yeah. But at least you got to do some of the clubs. Am I on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm right next to you.
Yeah. I talk real loud anyway. So it's funny. Okay, so do you still have a turntable and all that crap?
No.
Good.
No turntable, no CD player, everything's lazy, everything's streaming.
Yeah. Well, I have MP3s because I don't want to build the whole internet because I'm photoshopping. I don't need too much memory going through all that crap like that. Yeah. It was a bazillion. Anybody new lately? That's a tough question. A lot of people don't, after a certain age,
Newer bands?
Yeah.
One of the newer bands that have been around for a while now, I like is Rival Sons.
Yes. Scott's a great guitar player.
Yeah, they're a fun band.
Yeah. They played here a long time ago.
Before I moved back.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
see, I miss all the stuff. I always miss all the stuff.
I didn't see him, but Jesse Sabio with King Spectrum. Yeah. No, they're a great band, and then I had this thing where there's certain singers that touch on the Morrison vibe, and you have to be careful how far you go on the Morrison vibe. Michael Hutchins, prime example, he really took off on it. And then there was Ian Astbury who came to a point, and all of a sudden he got burned, and he cut that off. And then the singer has that thing, and then Feral Roots is an amazing song. That whole album's kind of like out there. Yeah, exactly.
I introduced them to a couple of people that are like, what?
Yeah.
How come I didn't know about these people?
Yeah. And then
bands like that, bands that are regular rock bands. I mean, there's a whole metal side of that too, but I don't know that any. I think some of the newest metal bands are big or like In Flames. They've been around since the late 90s, so they've been around forever. Yeah. Some of the newer ones that newer to me would probably now. Some of the old school rock bands, their old school style, like Dirty Money.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
The ones that aren't out there trying to be someone else, they're just after a style and they dig it.
Yeah, because that's kind of like to stay and be original kind of thing. And that's the hard part. To finding, I don't know how kids do it today. It's like, how are you gonna, find a groove that hasn't been done before? The 80s got lucky. It was all of a sudden you had great application, you had great all this stuff, and then people actually learned how to play guitar. I mean, I would see Paul Gilbert.
Well,
yeah.
Wasn't the 80s bands kind of the death of some of the What was that? What was that big group that did everything in the 50s and 60s? I don't know. I think Lynn Campbell was a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
But bands in the 80s were at the death of most of those studio.
Oh, those guys, yeah.
Because now they could play their own stuff. I mean, you still had guys like Luke and those guys that were killing it everywhere else.
Yeah.
But
yeah, certain like Cozy Pelgrim and everything. You wouldn't know about it, and stuff like that. But it was, and you were there in LA, and that whole thing of things. And wait, he's wearing a Cat House T-shirt.
I can't remember.
I gave my T-shirt to Everly. Hey, Dave, you're still out there, right? I mean, it's like, I got kind of big, and so I was like 160 pounds or whatever now.
I think he was making them again for a little while.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's still.
I used to go there like on every other Tuesday, right? Something like that, yeah. And the coolest, one of them is like, you always see Izzy there. I didn't see much people there, but Izzy was there, and then, of course, Tammy was there. One night before the first MTV Music Awards that was in Hollywood, street. There, I walk in, right, and there's two little English boys. It was Depeche Mode.
No.
And then after that, that's when Dave Gahan got into heroin. And those two, Violator and all that, those really dark albums, but that's my favorite albums because they really touched that whole thing. And all of a sudden, he's like slick back hair, tattoos everywhere, and like ODs in London or something like that.
It's funny. I went to that first MTV Awards was at the Universal Amphitheater.
Yeah.
I went there.
That was huge. They took the whole back. It was the biggest party I ever seen.
Yeah, the lot. The Universal lot was the back.
Yeah. And I'm following Leanne Tweed, Shannon Tweed's sister, and Paul Sanders following me, and Gene's following everybody else. It's like, because fucking redhead. Woohoo! Check it out. And then I got to see all my buddies because everybody's there and shit. And so it was a good mix between the metal stuff. That was good times back then. So did you, besides the Czars, you had FM station and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was the biggest sleazy FM station was the biggest sleazy mid-market ever. I'm not saying anything.
After a while, I mean, my first few years there it was mostly about the strip. But later on, when I moved into the valley, like Country Club was gone, so FM station was the place. So I mean, that was every weekend. Yeah, and we go into the back bar, and I remember we used to put enough money in to play the whole Enter a Barbie Undriven album.
Wow. And
then we go in, and the bartender taught us how to fast button the press to pass all the songs previous. We could skip past everything.
FM station. Yeah, the Country Club was pretty cool too. I saw so many bands at the Country Club. It was just crazy.
Country Club was fun.
Yeah.
I think I only played there once.
Yeah.
I saw some other things there.
So, at that time, what guitar players or bands did you like? Kind of like, wow, they were pretty good.
Local guys?
Yeah. When you're up over there, because it was kind of like.
I don't know if I saw local bands enough to follow them a lot. I know guys like Doug Aldrich was around.
He had a band called Lion. Yeah,
Lion.
We interviewed Lion.
What was the other one? Was he in?
The Bad Moon Rising after Lion.
Yeah. So I mean, there was some of those guys that hadn't really blown up yet. But lots of guys were good.
Yeah, it was crazy. But
mean,
then there was some bunch of crap too.
Well,
sorry, Stevie. I didn't say tough, did I?
Of course, when you have that many, you're going to have more crap.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of good bands, and the thing that I liked about it most was everybody was striving for a higher level than
because there was a lot of money at stake at one time.
Yeah, but everybody was putting their attention to detail, and the bands that actually thought about that stuff and worked on it. I mean, even if it was music that I wasn't that into, I still would love to see. the show.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the seeing Kiss, going, oh my God, look at that.
Yeah, and
The whole thing.
because they had to have a show. You had to stand out somehow. Either you had a costume, you just couldn't show up in your street clothes.
Yeah, I think that's kind of missing these days. That's what I miss about some of these newer bands, I guess. I kind of still want to see that.
Yeah, a little bit. Like you guys.
Which is why SuperheroRockStar was fun, because we were like, okay, what dumb thing can we do?
Yeah.
Without a $1 million budget. We do.
Yeah. And I saw Warrant a lot. I saw Warrant before JD was in the band too. And then Max went in, I forgot, Max went to Air Force or something. And then the lead singer was in Hot Wheels or whatever. It was all kind of incestuous. There was a band called Daddy Ray. I don't know if you ever saw Daddy Ray.
I remember seeing them in like BAM and stuff, but I don't think I ever saw them.
Yeah, they kind of like the band that rolled off after a big hangover night, and like started playing it out. And it was like, but they had a couple good songs, and that was kind of cool. Yeah, but Warren, they tried their best to do whatever they needed to get done, so that helped a lot. So, and then Joey Allen was a great guitar player. Yeah. It's just like, wow, okay. And there's other, like I said, I used to work with Jailhouse a lot. Hey, Mikey, and they were a good band. Until they got the Rough Cut guys in there. Yeah, and I saw Rough Cut a lot too. So that was amazing. Yeah, a lot of metal bands didn't kind of make it to Hollywood at that time. Yeah. If they did, they actually just played the whiskey. That was it. Yeah, it was kind of ruled by them.
There were just so many bands. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't been there years, but
probably still a lot of bands, but nothing.
I mean, it was constant. When I tell people what it was like, damn near any night of the week, it was 3-4 bands playing in every bar. Even the little ones, like Coconut Teaser and stuff. I mean, it was going any night. I don't even know how I made it through. I don't think I slept. Yeah. Because there was probably one night a week that didn't have anything going on.
Like Sunday. And then they had the Bonjo Jam on Sunday. Yeah, you would go out and then you'd wake up and do it again and go out again. And I helped my buddy Brian Flyer. We'd flyer all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. That was it was insane.
And flyer to people and watch them just let it go.
But we would have a little different thing too. So as the girls, I would whisper to them, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, we're guessing. Guessing what? What kind of underwear you have on?" Because we're all, I'm not saying sleazebags,
but you got to find a reason for them to hold on to it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, okay, so I was going to say, if you have, it's a funny thing. So only 3 of them. Any band at any time, what did you want to see live? I mean, of course, it's Kiss in 77.
How long is this show?
Well, I think Kiss in 77. That'd be the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Probably Rush in 78 in Detroit when they played the Copal Arena.
I would have loved to see Ozzy with Randy.
Long story about that one. We'll get into that one.
You want me to leave?
No.
You get to see it.
No, I didn't see it. The funny thing was, because Ozzy was a buffoon back then. He wasn't, everybody's still laughing joke. And then he got a band together. It was halfway decent. But Randy Rhoads, God bless his soul, Quiet Riot wasn't the best band.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden it was like, he was a great player, but it was sorry, Kevin. And so Sharon was already a BACTH back then. And so we all went to see Motorhead, because Motorhead's opening up for the first Ozzy tour. We all go to a place called Fresno, and there's a little sign on the window, Ozzy canceled. It's like we find out it was too hot for him to play. And then everybody who's anybody in the Bay Area, we're talking like the Metallica guys and Cliff Burton and everybody, and we're all like going back to the next day was in Santa Cruz. And so I was really pissed off with Ozzy. So it was like, I saw Motorhead, and then Bales were on. Yeah. But God bless the poor guy's soul. He did, an amazing shit. There's stories about Ozzy going, play it better, or something. And then, with Lee Kerslake and Bob Daisley behind them. That's like what a monster, because at one time Uriah Heep was the best band on the planet.
Right? It's cool.
Yeah, Nick Fox with always a Les Paul person, And so Ken Hensley, they would have these little fights and stuff. And then Bob Daisley, I mean, he was in Widowmaker with Ariel Bender.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
he was in Longer Than Rock and Roll with Blackmore. I mean, the whole thing.
He's been everywhere.
Yeah, it's like,
Daisley.
yeah. And then they, even though Sharon fired him, they had to hire him back to get the right songs. These are the right songs. Hello, but yeah, I'm almost done with my Ozzy. But it's good because Mike Borden from Faith No More, when I knew him, he was still in high school. He was in a Black Sabbath cover band, and lo and behold, 20 years later, he was actually in Sabbath on tour with them. I mean, what more can you want? Be on Say With Your Heroes, kind of thing. That's like crazy.
Well, yeah, we're practicing.
Yeah.
He's already been practicing.
What band would you, if you could? What band would you, if they needed a guitar player? What band would you be?
Oh, jeez.
Don't say Cheap Trick. They'll laugh.
You can't be in Cheap Trick. Can Cheap Trick be Cheap Trick without Rick? So,
Yeah, Rick or Robin.
or,
Yeah.
gee, that's a tough question. There's kind of a lot.
Well, name one.
I don't know if I can name one.
Okay, I'll help you out. Okay, if it's Lizzie, would it be you and Robinson or you and Gary Moore? Dude, that's heavy.
That is rough, but is it? That's another one. Is it really Thin Lizzy without Gorham? He was the.
It doesn't matter.
mainstay.
You're replacing him.
I would. Well, since Gary Moore is one of my top guys, I probably would just freaking be head over heels to be able to play with Gary Moore.
Okay, so you're jamming away, doing that whole lead guitar thing. You turn around and you're like, what do you do? It's like, oh my God, it's Gary Moore.
Probably forget I was playing. Like, oh crap, I'm supposed to do something. I mean, I like Robbo a lot, but just the whole catalog with Gary.
Yeah.
Is,
Yeah. I had that moment. I was contracted to photograph Bowie at a press thing, and it was like the LA premiere for his Black Toy White Noise album. And so what happens is we go around. They had a press agent, and this is the guy from Records. This is the guy from like whatever. And I had to go, and David go, "Ready, Bill?" I said, "Ready, David." And I'm going like, and then you have that moment. It's like, and then for an hour and a half, David would go, "Ready, Bill?" "Ready, David?" And like. And then we said our goodbyes, and he shook his hand, and he smiled, and I walked down going, fuck. I'm driving home going, fuck. That's Ziggy Stardust. You know my favorite goddamn song of all time, Rebel Rebel. Yeah, exactly. Going through the whole thing. Shit. That would be that moment.
Yeah,
you'd turn around like, it's Gary.
That's definitely one of the guys would be like that.
Yeah. Shit.
There's some other ones, I guess, like Medicaid. He's one of my big guys. So playing YT might be fun.
Yeah. You have the hair for it. I saw him so many times. It was just so many times that I got to be friends with Joey and Leonard. And like a couple months before Leonard died, he would call up all the time. Hey, Bill, what are you doing? Because he had that foot, and no one knew how he did that one.
Yeah.
And then he was a band with Ian Gillan. And Ian did an album called Toolbox, and it was Leonard in it, and it was amazing. So it was like he was already. We talked about that a lot. He was like, I said, you were with Ian Gillan? Yeah, I was with Ian Gillan. Called me the mayor of hell. And then Joey's the cool guy because he was the only one hanging out all the time. He wasn't too coked out like Leonard was, or really kind of like Phil was always out there someplace, and Dave would never talk to us. There was always Joey shaking hands and shit like that. That was like, and they were the California band. It wasn't LA or San Francisco. They were California, and everybody opened for them. Van Halen, Motley Crue, everybody opened. Metallica, they all opened for them.
Well, I mean, apparently they played here in the 70s thing.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be called the Little Orphan Annie's over by the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was just telling me that recently. Like they can only play for, I don't know, extended period. And I was too young to go.
They played the Hard
I
Rock
think they were
in
still
Maui.
yesterday and today.
Yeah.
But they would play for.
Wow, that's great. That's cool because they played the Hard Rock Maui because Dave had to play a wedding and the next day they played there. It's crazy.
I saw them when they came here and played Republic. That was cool. I've seen them several times in my LA.
Yeah. They were good. The bad thing about them, they got caught up in the Moose category.
Well,
They
everybody did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Coverdale. I was really good friends with David Coverdale for a long time, and he'd always be the brother. And then sooner or later, it got lighter and lighter, and one day it's all blonde and shit. And he was quoted as saying, "I can't compete with the Moose boys." And all there he is. Thank you, John Klogner. Okay, so you go into a record. I mean, I have to put you on the spot because you go into Tower Records. They have the listening booths, right? There's Fire Down Under, and then there's something bizarre here. There's only two options, kind of thing.
Fire Down Under. Any day of the week.
Hear that, Sandy?
Riot is one of my top bands. I mean, those Narita and just sounds killed to me. And I kind of lost a little interest in them later when they started getting heavier. It wasn't as cool to me. Just my opinion. But I still love those early Riot albums. Those things are
Fire Down Under, and everybody knows this, it's the cornerstone American metal album. It got ditched by Capitol. They didn't want to put it out. It was legal out. They finally put it out in Electro, and it was like, everybody had
everything.
that.
There's not a bad song in that.
Yeah.
I mean, Rita to me doesn't have a bad song either, but that album is.
Yeah. And the tones are great. Everything's great. It's crazy. I was
I've been
friends
trying to
with.
get band to play All Through the King for ever.
Really? That's pretty
There's a
tough.
couple songs I've been trying to get bands to play. That one,
Yeah.
Dreams of Egypt, Yesterday and
Yes.
Today.
Yes.
There's a few of them.
Oh, well, let's do that then. If your cover band.
They're making me an idea.
Yeah, no, that's how a conversation goes, right? That's how we do it. We just talk about it. So you're writing a set list for your ultimate cover band. What's the first one? What are you going to open with?
I like doing some of that stuff that I haven't heard bands playing in a while, but there's stuff that's fun. Like we were talking earlier about some of the other songs on Strangers in the Night, Shoot, stuff like that. Probably some lesser known Cheap Trick, Love Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
And even that's a whole list of man. Licking a Promise.
Yes. But opening song. It'd be Detroit Rock City. Really?
I guess it could be, but
You have to have an opening song. Yeah, it has to be that song.
I guess it has to be.
They're like, holy shit. Licking a Promise, Rats in the Cellar, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I guess, there really isn't that much. Is there really a better opening song? Probably. For Rock City.
Yeah, that's great. The next song. And are you changing guitars?
Well, you got to go a couple of guitars to let people see it.
Yes, exactly. So what's the second song?
Man, there's such a huge. I have to look back at some of the Snakeskin Cowboy.
Ooh, okay. That may be good. Something with Uncle Ted. Sorry, Ted.
But like I said, stuff that people our age would like. Heard that in forever.
And then the cool thing about that is all the kids are learning that shit now. There's a thing on YouTube now where actually the first reaction video, and they're going through all the stuff we listen to, and all these 24 go, I didn't know you can do that. It's like Stargazer, what you can do? What Deals? What? And it's funny, they don't know what we know. The whole thing, they think Deal is the start instead of Blackmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, wow, and they don't know. But it's good. At least in younger generations, following that stuff. Because where can you go? You go into your grandfather's record collection. That would go road racing, the second song. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Road racing's cool. I got just before we moved to LA, I got that band where we played a couple of shows around town just to make some extra cash to ship our stuff, and I talked them into playing road racing. So that's a fun.
Yeah. So, like when you and Brian played, did you have that? How do I put it? That Lizzie moment. You guys did dual lead guitars.
Very, very few. We didn't do it that much because, I mean, who can keep up with Brian's volume? I consider myself lucky because I took lessons from Marty Friedman.
Yeah.
I played a band with Brian Spalding and Tom Azevedo. I don't know if you know Tom.
Yeah.
But those two guys were, at the time, a couple of, Mark LeVay is another one at the time in that era when I moved away, were some of the top guitar players.
Yeah.
And out of those four guys, I got to three of them. So I learned a lot.
So how was Marty? Because I know Marty. My photograph got Marty in Megadeth.
So when I first met Marty, a friend of mine in high school, David Boyle, taught me my first scale. And he had been taking lessons from Marty. So at the time, Marty was giving lessons in his bedroom in Koipu. And so that was it. And then I used to go watch all of these shows. It was before he kind of had more students when he worked in Hot Licks. But it was during that band, Hawaii. Before that, it was the Big Scene. But I used to see him all the time. I used to let him look, if he needed more amps to look cool, I had a Marshall stack. So Brian and I get to go to the shows and stuff. But it was cool. I probably haven't talked to him since Megadeth because when he was still in LA, I used to drive around and see him all the time. Yeah. And we'd go to the shows, but I haven't talked to him.
Because he has that unorthodox picking.
So it was hard for me because I was a beginner. Yeah. And the way he holds his pick hand and his nails were always long on his fretboard hand, so we wouldn't plug in. I was always trying to figure out what is that? What are you doing? Unfortunately, I didn't take away any of the ultra coolness Marty has, but I can always play like that.
Yeah, he's a different animal.
Who knows?
Oh yeah, so a couple things. Facebook's a butt. I've got the blue check mark. I've got the professional thing, and I guess I get a new phone because it still does this thing. So I'll fix it and post. That's fine. We're here at Proof. We can do it right now. We got Proof here, other side of Chinatown. Andy, Jazz, Lou does a great job. Come here, visit it, stuff like that. And hold on. Cheers. Because he told me not to tell those top 10, whatever. It was like for me, it's like, okay, I know what to do already. So
that's too hard. I got a top 100.
Top 100. Let's say so you stream your stuff, right? It's like Spotify, right? What do you have? Yeah. So if you turn your phone on, what would be the number one song on your Spotify playlist?
I don't know. I mean, I always have some of those influence bands. Yeah. Thin Lizzy, Aerosmith, Cheap Trick. Yeah. Some of them were like I like REO Speedwagon because Gary Richrath was a killer guitar player.
Yeah, he had his moments. Yeah. Riding the Storm Out was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that.
But still, some of the top list would be those. I have some heavier bands, and I guess In Flames and Slipknot. And, that's not how I play anymore.
I try to like Slipknot sometimes. I like Corey's voice a lot. I like Stone Sour, but once in a while you have to get into that.
Yeah. Well, and most of mine is that. I mean, I still have Iron Maiden and those guys, but I think my original influence is the guys I always go back to. Yeah. Y&T.
Yes.
I probably had Y&T on my. I think I was listening to Y&T radio on the way here.
There you go.
Oh, I was an old school Queensryche fan.
Yeah, I like their EP they put out. That was really
I was cool with them all the way up to Empire, and then I kind of lost interest. They started falling apart.
Yeah, it was Jeff going.
Yeah.
I remember being on tour someplace. I forget where we were, and this one he had payphones still.
Oh, man.
And Jeff talking to his dad, and he was like, "Do we tour Japan or do we go sailing in Puget Sound?" And, dude, go to Japan. I don't think we're gonna go sailing.
No.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
never sailing.
Yeah.
Sailing is never the choice.
Yeah, and that was kind of like it. And then I was big friends with Tommy Thayer, who was like the Gibson wannabe kid from all time, no matter what. I think it's pretty cool. Also, Gibson makes a guitar for you.
Yeah, right. It is. It's super cool.
So how many guitars do you have?
I don't have that many. Not like some of my friends. I think I have 12,
Oh, okay.
14, something like that. Oh no, some of my friends have like ridiculous ones.
Yeah. I think Brian has 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ryan has 2. And I'm surprised he has 2 because he only had 1 for a very long time.
I think, yeah, because he has a backup Les Paul. He said. Yeah. And he has the pink Les Paul, which is kind of like, yeah. It's like,
That's the one he always had
yeah.
forever.
He told me the story that he had it painted and came back with him. And kept it. That's That's cool. Henry had a Washburn he played for years, and he painted it, and the tone went out. So he had to go find some electric guitar for a while. Shit. When's the last time you heard Dukes? Sorry.
Years?
Years.
Yeah, probably. Hey.
I didn't mean to interrupt you guys.
No worries.
Wait, come here. I'm in train of thought and look over, and who's there? It's Locke.
Hi.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. I saw your guys' live feed upstairs after I finished all my work. And I was like, I fucking love these guys.
Yeah, that's
Nice of you to admit it in public.
Of course, man.
Yeah, go back and look at last week's episode. It's kind of cool. What else, man? Talk
That's
to
just
me.
okay.
Come on. Give out some shout outs. Do something fun. You're the only guitar player that most times, like, you know, in the train of thought don't say this and that all day. You know, it's like, yeah, I gotta do this. Very opinionated.
Yo, I can start off with the opinion. I don't know. I think the biggest shout out I would have locally is all my friends at Dan's Guitars. Because those guys are they're all Dan's super cool and very dangerous at
Yes.
the same time.
So, Dan's Guitars off of Barrett-Tandy and McCulley, right?
Yep.
You're in town, you need a guitar or whatever, go see Dan.
I think they're really the only boutique guitar store, probably in the state.
Yeah. A lot of people show up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of cool stuff.
And he plays too.
And he's good.
My Jewish priest after British Steel, everything sucks. But they didn't benefit without the singer, what's his name? Yeah, and the bass player sang everything. And that was like, they did Electric Eye and going, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of around the same as you, but I did like British Steel.
Yeah, British Steel. Yes.
And I did like Screaming. We Revengers was cool. I started losing a little bit after that. Finished the Faith. There's a couple songs that are cool.
Yeah.
There's a couple songs that aren't good.
Heading out to the highway. Yeah.
Oh, there's another song that I would want to put on my
What's
list.
that?
It's on British Steel. It's oh no, I just lost it.
Granger.
No, it's on Helping It.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, Helping for Leather? Delivering the Goods?
No, it's what's it called?
No idea.
I gotta sing it now to learn it.
Well,
Burning Up.
Burning Up. Okay. I don't know if you're a Skid Row fan or not, but they did a EP called "Beside Yourself," all the cover tunes, and then one they did "Delivery Goods" with Ross Help, and that was pretty cool. But the coolest thing was, there's a lot of guitar players do Little Wing, but only Sebastian sings it the best. It's crazy. He had that whole crazy.
I remember that. I remember the album.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
You got a long list for the drive home.
Better
Better drive slow.
Do your kids get annoyed when you start playing music? Or are they okay with everything?
They're fine now, but I also give them a turn too. Let them play the nonsense that I can't stand. To me, if they're digging music,
Look at you. What a good dad.
I don't want to shut them off from music. I've tried to steer them over to the dark side.
I do that. My youngest Reese, every time we hang out, she's in control of the playlist, and she has the weirdest eclectic of all time. I mean, we're talking about Russian folk music from like 18 whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, and all this stuff. Like, have you heard Jellyfish? No, but here's this. It's like, listen to Jellyfish, damn it. No, I won't. You'll understand everything after that.
Everything.
Just about. The first Jellyfish album says everything in it. It's like the before all that Burning kind of thing, Burning Man shit, before all the what do you call that? The steampunk crap. Anyway. Yeah. How you doing, man?
Good.
Good. Well, thanks for hanging out. Shit.
Yeah, me.
So wait.
I know we've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, tell people how they can find anything you on it.
I don't even know where I could find anything that I'm on it.
There's an Aaronsrod album, right?
There's a bunch of Aaronsrod stuff out there in the world. Yeah, some of them don't have pictures of the current bands on it, but still, and still part of that band, although kind of inactive right now.
SuperheroRockStar, they have an album out.
There's that.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah,
it's okay. Yeah, it was fun if nothing else.
Yeah.
Is that nasty? That's kind of it. I mean, working on new music and putting a new band together. Just we don't have all the pieces yet. Still
you need
kind
a
of
second guitar
out.
player?
Maybe. I haven't decided if I want a second guitar player or keyboards.
Or guitar player who can play keyboards?
That would be okay.
Anybody can play keyboards. Because I'm going like Nick Gertz, but you play string with Nick.
I like Nick.
See, someone likes you, Nick.
It would be interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Harmonies all over the damn.
That's what it's supposed to be. I think that's when you do a show, you have anybody. Somehow the best moments when the band's in the front doing the same thing or something exciting. Because anybody can do like, la la la, but when you focus and do that whole, it brings everything up. I don't know, it's so crazy. Yeah. Scorpions did that one time, and UFO did it kind of thing. And of course, they always did it. Yeah. Just make the sound bigger. Van Halen didn't do it. Sorry. And we went through a whole cut without mentioning Van Halen, so that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do love Van Halen, but I never really think of the band or Eddie as an influence, and I don't know why. Maybe because I just don't play like that.
Because you're a small person?
Well, yeah, but I kind of feel like that on one hand, but on the other hand, I feel like any budding guitar player around that era, early Van Halen, had to have taken something. Yeah. I mean, it was so groundbreaking.
Yeah.
We all probably play a little something that.
What happened was my buddy Bob Nabani, who just passed away last year. Sorry, Bob. He has a documentary series, and the first one's called Inside LA Metal. It's like from '76 till like '82. It had like a la carte and Snow and everybody had a Van Halen story. It's like Greg Leon, who's in had Greg Lee on the Force or whatever. It was like the drummer is Tommy Lee, the bass player is Joey Barra. And he would play a Jaguar. And then Ed would show up like, how do you do these dive bombs? Well, Ed, my Webby bar is at a 45-degree angle. And the next thing, that's what Eddie had. And then everybody had an Eddie story. And so that first Inside Metal is a love letter to Eddie. And he's not on it. But yeah, everybody had that little thing. Don Dawkins is on it. And he was in a band called Air Force. And Don goes, and he's playing, you're not supposed to play it. That's against the law. And then the guy from Lakes Diamond is going like, yeah, we're doing something and opening for Kiss or whatever. And then David Lee and then Eddie shows up. That's when they want to get rid of the bass. Could you imagine Eddie and Kiss?
I don't think so.
What makeup would he wear? Eddie and face makeup, right? The other one was, who else was supposed to be in Kiss? Some of the other crazy guys. They didn't evade it, so. It's like Slash being in Poison. That was crazy.
That would be weird.
Yeah, well, he showed up in an audition and Greg goes, you gotta play like that. Hi, I'm Slash. And Slash wasn't gonna do that shit.
Don't blame me.
Yeah. Anyway, well, nice seeing you, man. Toby, say hi.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
And we're at Proof, and my phone's being crazy, but it's fine. I'll fix it in post. Thanks for everything. Until next time, watch this. Gracefully. Aloha. Told you gracefully.